Head around the Inside Politics table, ask our great reporters to get you out ahead of some of the big political news just around the corner. Heidi?
Turns out that for Hillary Clinton, just shattering the glass ceiling is not enough. This race that we're seeing to expand the map right now, it's not just about winning, it's about governing, because the campaign insiders feel that the race has been so contentious and so personal that it might be really hard for her if she doesn't have a big majority in Congress, and that the implications of that for women who follow behind her or who try to follow behind her could be grave. And they are looking at data from the World Economic Forum that shows even though women have made strides, there's been out of 142 nations, 63 have had women heads, but they've only served, like about 2/3 of them have served for less than 4 years. What does that tell you? When the door opens, often it closes behind these women.
Oh, interesting there. We'll have to keep an eye on those down ballot races. Matt?
30 seats. Democrats have their eyes now on the House majority, something that was inconceivable a couple weeks ago. There are 26 House seats where Republicans hold right now, but Barack Obama won that in 2012. Look for those are where the Democrats are going to focus. People like Mike Kaufman in the suburbs of Denver or Barbara Comstock in Virginia right outside of Washington, D.C. If there's going to be a landslide, then those are the seats that are going to have to fall. There was a poll recently that showed Democrats have a 7-point margin generically for voters want Democrats to have the majority. That grew to 12 points if the person had supported Donald Trump. So those ads are going to be hammering people in their support for Donald Trump.
27 days. Steve?
Heidi's point underlines that it's not too early to think about what happens in this country after the election. We had David Marinus, the Clinton biographer and now a historian, on the program this week, and he said, whatever happens, whoever wins, whatever the people want, I don't think they're going to get. Because people are so frustrated in this country. It's a moment of great transition. He's concerned about the dissolution of the country, and I don't think he means the whole country, but the institutions, the bonds, the relationships that we've had for so long. We're in a period of transition. This election is not going to end it. It's not going to end this story.
I think it's a great point. If Clinton wins, she's going to disappoint liberals. You're going to still have this conservative angst. If Trump wins, we're going to have chaos in the Republican Party. It's a great point. Nia?
Yeah. Real Clear Politics has been tracking general election polls for quite some time. If you go back until May, there have been 200 polls that RCP has on their website. Out of all those polls, Trump only has led in 20 of those polls. The rest, about 180, Hillary Clinton has led in all of them. The ones that Donald Trump has led in are kind of iffy polls like Rasmussen and the LA Times poll. This is why we don't hear Trump talking much about polls at this point. And it'll be interesting to see if there are any other national matchups where Donald Trump actually leads in the polls, because most of those polls so far seem like they've been outliers.
I agree with you, but I'm going to be a bit of a contrarian here. A cautionary note to any Democrats who might be looking at this week's poll numbers and deciding, hey, it's time to measure the White House drapes, house hunt in D.C., or polish up that resume for the Clinton transition team. Yes, this is a terrible, horrible, miserable week for Trump. But today's numbers might have a limited shelf life, especially when we think about the congressional races, the possibility of a landslide down ballot. Wild swings happen after shocking events like the release of that groping tape. And polling, even a few days later, is kind of like testing the water after a hurricane is downgraded to a tropical storm. The outlook for Trump is bleak. Nia's right. No question, the outlook for Trump is bleak. But let's wait until the weekend or early next week to have a better sense of just how steep that hill is.